Guys,
not.
guys,
What?
guys, we're live.
It always takes so long. Hello. Good afternoon, America. I'm Penelope McAllister.
And I'm Susan B. Anthony.
And this is KNJ News.
By your side.
Hello. As of 9:40 p.m. today, on February 15th, the United States battleship, the USS Maine, was heading over to Havana Harbor in Cuba with the intent of protecting its American residents in Spanish territory, when out of the blue, an explosion tore out the bottom of the ship, causing it to sink almost instantly.
So far, there has already been reported 260 officers and men dead upon the ship. While there is still no exact answer as to what caused the explosion, it is believed that it is all caused by a mine incident.
One thing is for certain. If this is discovered to not be a mistake and actually be an explosion caused on purpose, Americans will not be happy, and they are already planning to retaliate.
Up next, investigative reporter Bob on the events leading up to the sinking of the Maine. And later, an exclusive interview with the Spanish minister on Spanish control in Cuba.
At 9:40 p.m. on the night of February 15, 1898, the United States battleship Maine, riding quietly at anchor in Havana Harbor, was suddenly blown up. Its cause? Apparently a mine. The explosion tore her bottom out and sank her, killing 260 officers and men on board. In the morning, only the distorted parts of the colossal warship's superstructure could be seen protruding above the water, while small boats moved about examining the damage. The Maine had been showing the flag in Cuba, where the Spanish regime was resisting an armed uprising by nationalist guerrillas. Who was responsible? The Spanish? However, the real question is, what led up to the sinking of the Maine? There was more than one way to acquire land. If the globe had already been claimed by imperial powers, the United States could seize land held by others. Americans were feeling proud of their growing industrial and military prowess, and the long-dormant Monroe Doctrine could finally be enforced. Spain was weak, and the United States knew it. Since 1895, Cubans had been in an open revolt against Spanish rule, and in the following year, Spain sent General Valeriano Weyler to Cuba to sedate the rebels. The news reached us Americans through the newspapers of the yellow journalists. In February 1898, relations between the United States and Spain deteriorated further when Dupuy de Lome, the Spanish minister to the United States, had written a stinging letter about President McKinley to a personal friend. The letter was stolen and soon found itself on the desk of Hearst, who promptly published it on February 9th. After public outcry, de Lome was called to Spain, and the Spanish government apologized. However, the peace was short-lived, and a shocking explosion tore a hole through the Maine, which had been on patrol in Havana. Although no conclusive results have ever been proven, many Americans have already made up their minds that the sinking of the Maine and the deaths of 260 sailors was a result of Spanish treachery. Thank you!
This migraine won't go away.
Hey you!
Me? What do you want?
Well, that's just rude. But are you struggling with headaches that just won't leave you alone?
What does it look like to you, genius?
Well, then look no further to quench your thirst and pain with Coca-Cola, a simply refreshing tonic that will cure all your ailments. It cures headaches, hysteria, melancholy.
What's the point of living if all you ever do is work all day and go home only to repeat the cycle forever?
Wow, I love living to work for the rest of my life and without enjoying the small things in life.
Our top secret formula is what brings joy and relief to all, by using only the finest of ingredients, cane sugar. Fruit syrups. Caffeine.
Caffeine.
And cocaine.
Wait, did you just say cocaine?
What? No, what I meant to say was coca leaf extract.
Oh. Okay. Thanks, Coca-Cola.
Go get your Coca-Cola at your local pharmacy today.
Evening. Here with me today is the Spanish ambassador to the United States, Senor Don Enrique Dupuy de Lome. A pleasure to have you here, Senor de Lome.
Thank you.
So as you have heard, the sinking of the USS Maine happened on February 15th. What was your reaction when you first heard the news?
I just couldn't believe the report, but the truth took me a moment to sink in.
There is evidence of the U.S. President William McKinley receiving a private letter from you, calling him weak and a bitter for administration of the crowd. Could you be plotting against America and plan for the explosion to trigger McKinley into war?
This is simply a misunderstanding. None of my men would attack a ship that had permission to pass. If it did happen, it must have not been known.
Whatever the cause may be, it's been said despite efforts to avoid war, McKinley is prepared to send a war message to Congress. What will the Spaniards do if war were to become a reality in the very near future?
We're not as prepared as Americans, but we will try to keep Cuba under our control and hopefully have a war that will end quickly.
Speaking of Cuba, it has been noted that Spain has been keeping Cubans in camps, and there have been possibly 200,000 deaths so far due to the poor treatment and conditions they are receiving, which can apply to your other colonies. This has caused Cuba to rebel against Spain. If Spain loses this war and Cuba gains independence from the country, are you willing to recognize them as a country and possibly lose other colonial islands on the way?
Our colonies belong to the Spanish people, but as more problems rise up, it is not difficult to recognize the Cubans want to escape from our grasp, but we will at least try to keep them, how do I say this, to ourselves and hope that the rebellion will die down.
That is all we have today, ladies and gents. Thank you for the interview, Senor de Lome. I bid you adieu.
And I bid adieu to you too. We are back with K&G News. As you know by now, or you are just tuning in, I am Susan B. Anthony, and my co-anchor,
Penelope Lancaster.
as many of you have heard by now, there has been a tragic sinking of the USS Maine. But before we drown, you get it? Get it? Yeah? You in these thoughts, we are going over to Candace with the weather.
We wouldn't want you to explode with excitement.
Well, for today's forecast, not newscast, that is a different subject. Today, at its highest is 74 and lowest at 57, mostly cloudy with thunderstorms, maybe a bit of sunshine if you see that little picture right there with the sun. Highest at 70 and lowest at 55 on Tuesday, transitioning to thunderstorms. Wednesday, it's going to be all rain, raining like the honeys with the monies. With highest at 69 and lowest at 49, it's going to be chilly, so make sure you put on a coat and bring an umbrella with you. Thursday is going to be mostly sunny with nice clouds. It's going to be great, but temperatures still at the highest at 65 and lowest at 49, so it may get cold. Wait, I just realized we have the wrong city we're forecasting today. Apparently we're doing it on Cleveland. This ain't Cleveland, okay? This is Tucson. We'll screw this up again, Tim.
Due to technological issues, we will be cutting to commercial and blooper break. Thank you for watching.
Radio stop working or burst into flames?
Yeah.
Do your circuits and wires burn out?
Yeah.
Have nothing to entertain yourself with because you never leave your house?
Yeah.
Well then look no further. Introducing the new wireless radio.
Wow!
With new technological advances, you can now listen to broadcasts of the news, listen to the latest hits, or even use it to block out the voices in your head, all within the comfort of your own home.
Haha, you can't join me.